We've always had room in our hearts for film and TV, not just on Netflix, but tape and disc and theaters. And also, God forbid that they take it all away and leave us nothing to broadcast to loyal listeners. We'll binge watch every single movie, so you don't have to. What else are we here for? Coming to you every week. Listen to us while you're busy. Luckily, we forgot to grow up.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. I said it right that time. You guys don't know, but I messed it up last time we tried to jump in here.
It's okay.
I screwed it up.
At least you started this time. Like I was supposed to start, but I was stalling.
This is our first ever recording for all you guys, all 5 of you out there.
5 listeners.
This is our first recording,
hopefully
episode
6 by
1.
the end of the episode. Aim
Hopefully.
for 6.
Aim for 6. 6 episodes and a movie. That was a community reference for all you guys out there. My name's Andrew.
I'm Scott.
Oh, I have to introduce myself?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Craig.
Here we go.
I love it, Craig. I love it.
For those of you who decide to skip over our prelude episode, basically what we're here to do is we're here to break down movies, TV shows, pop culture. We're here for it.
All that stuff that we love to sit around and watch in our basements.
Exactly. For those of you who are like, movies, I'm not going to go see that. We saw it. Yeah. We know.
Already saw it twice.
2 times. Like,
once
while you were thinking about it, we bought tickets.
Put the dubs on. We did that.
Exactly. We're here to talk to you about that sort of thing. Break down stuff from the past that maybe you haven't seen in 20 years. We've seen it recently. That's what we're here for.
Some of it.
For the most part. You know. God bless Netflix. That's what we're here for. Okay.
Illegal streaming.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
What?
I mean Netflix. Just Netflix.
Just Netflix. Only paid stuff.
Nothing else.
Purchased movies. Cinema.
Sometimes iTunes.
Sometimes.
I got a couple things on iTunes.
I do not, because I'm a BlackBerry boy. That's my thing.
Fair enough.
That's my thing.
I had the iTunes. You know, I got some iTunes gift cards. You got to use those for something.
You got to use them for something.
Apps. Who buys apps these days?
You can get them all for free anyways.
That's
so.
true.
Exactly.
Well,
you get the basic version.
Sometimes, yeah. You just gotta watch an ad on occasion. That's okay.
Man, that's how you learn how to buy stuff.
I don't mind ads.
Yeah.
I'm an ad writer. I have to like ads.
Exactly.
Anyways, we got a little off track.
What I don't mind is shows that I'm never too old to watch.
Oh, same here. And I've been told a lot that I'm too old to watch some of these shows that I rewatch.
I literally, right behind you right now, have Yu-Gi-Oh!, Beast Wars, Transformers, Alf,
I was
Justice League.
Yeah, I was looking at Justice League before. I was like, wait, do you only have... You're missing one? And then I was like, oh no, it's just a smaller box.
No, I got all 4 right there.
Box so that's
I lent you Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I meant to bring that back today.
2 weeks ago.
In my car.
Oh,
that was
man.
like 2 months ago. Let's be honest.
You can get back to me. You can get it back
I was already in the car and I was like, oh shit. It's up there.
Man, like 2 weeks ago, I bought Batman, the animated series.
Yes.
I literally haven't watched that in like 15 years.
I know, same here.
I'm so glad I did. Kevin Conroy, that's my boy.
Oh, yeah.
His voice, like, season 1, you're like, kind of sounds like Batman. And then by the end, like, even current stuff that he's doing, he's Batman.
He's Batman.
He is Batman.
I love him in any of the DC animated movies that because he's always the Batman in most of those for the most part.
Like he is, like he's more Batman than anyone.
Speaks to me. Because I feel like that's because we definitely grew up with him as our Batman as the animated series. Like when I was growing up, that was probably like one of like 10 shows I watched all the time. Like every weekend, no matter what. Was always watching Batman. Same with like the Justice League and Superman, but definitely Batman the most.
Oh yeah.
Out of all of them, Batman and the series just stuck out because I love Batman.
See, Batman was my boy. I never really watched that much of the Superman animated series, just because like. Me, you know, I was the big chubby kid. I was the fat kid in school. You know, I was always just trying to strive to be, you know, something that I wasn't. Superman, you know, he is. He is everything.
He just is. Yep.
You know, normal people wear periods. Superman, he's like 17 exclamation marks and then that Spanish upside down exclamation mark.
What is that thing called?
I don't know, man, but he's all of those in one.
That's French.
He's like...
Damn it, I should have paid more attention.
He is so much more, and I was like, he can pretty much defeat anything. Even the things that give him a hard time.
It's true.
Like
it's hard to watch that because it's like, well, who's challenging Superman?
Like,
especially in a cartoon. It's like he's cartoon Superman. He's got even less limitations than CGI Superman.
On a side note, the one thing I will say about Superman is I like the fact that they went brawn over brain. Like, his two main dudes that he's got to go against, Lex Luthor, Brainiac. One is literally named Brain.
Yeah, Brain. Like, and it's like, we don't need a super smart, like, Superman. Superman's about just being better than everyone, yes, but not about being a super genius, which I feel like there's definitely, especially in the animated series, there's some episodes where they kind of, like, they do give him a little too much smarts, and it's like, yeah, he's a smart guy, but I'd rather him turn to his team and get a little help with the smarts, and then just be like, yeah, Superman, just do your Superman stuff. You know, punch something, shoot some laser eyes at somebody, stuff like that.
Like, every time I've ever seen, like, Superman versus, like, you know, Doomsday or whatever, it's basically him just being like, yo, I'm super buff, and he just beats down
and
Doomsday.
Like,
almost dies.
They just always fly across
a state. Everything.
It's like bouncing across the state, like especially in like Smallville.
Yes,
that was always my favorite. Anytime like Clark Kent and Smallville would fight anybody, it just end up going like 4 miles worth of fight because you'd just be bouncing off the ground, flying through the air. They didn't really fly. Because
he never really learned how to fly until like the end.
Except for when he went bad twice.
2 times. But then he turned good and he just forget how to fly again.
Yeah, it's like,
flying is not for good people.
Apparently not. Well, not in that universe.
Yeah,
but that universe had its.
It had its flaws. It had its flaws. Like Thad Castle as Aquaman. Like, come on, son.
You know what's the funniest thing though? You know how the guy they had who played Oliver Queen?
Yeah.
They did a spin-off called Aquaman, and he was the one who played Aquaman.
What?
Oliver Queen.
Man, I did not know this.
Was literally months after like they did their thing in like Smallville. It was supposed to be like a semi-connected one.
And then they just
filmed one episode. There was a pilot episode with him. And that was it.
Man.
And I was like, I see this. And I'm like, no, he was Arrow. Yeah, he was Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
You guys had Aquaman.
He was kind of a dickhead Oliver Queen. Like,
yeah, they were all kind of dickheads. Those other ones, like the guy who played Aquaman was total douche.
Oh yeah.
But he did get to make out with Lois Lane, who was like
Smallville's
Lois Lane is my favorite Lois Lane. I have to say,
she's a good looking lady.
Yes.
Like, I'll be honest though, like her as like a secondary, you know, character. Nothing on my girl Felicity Smoke though.
No, it's true. It's true.
Love that girl.
It's true. Felicity Smoke has skills. She got the brain.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna say Felicity Smoke is Felicity Smokin'.
It's true.
I said it.
I love that she's always wearing heels. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah. And I just want to point out that I think that might have been our first pun on Forgot to Grow Up.
We should mark that down. We'll put that in the show notes.
We've put out
attention to that.
We've officially proven that we forgot to grow up, except we use dad jokes, so we're forgot to grown ups. That's what we are. Man, but like I think the number one show like nowadays, like I bought the box set. I could literally sit down and watch it anytime. Would be that first season of Digimon. Like
really?
I can literally sit down, throw her in, binge watch the whole season. Maybe skip the odd one here and there where you're like this episode it's super cool, but it doesn't really do anything. Mm-hmm. Like I love that show.
I haven't watched Digimon since I was a kid, and I always loved it. I definitely connected more to Digimon as a kid.
It's on Netflix. It's for reals on Netflix. They've got the first 3 seasons on Netflix.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, man. Like, they don't have that fourth...
I knew they had Pokemon, but I've been like, I'm waiting until I have a child before I watch Pokemon.
Yeah, for reals.
Because I can't get through some kid shows on my own. Yeah. Like, a lot I can.
You need a reason.
Yeah, but some of them just like, oh, this is too kiddie. Like, I can't watch Dragon Ball Z again until I have a child. Because that was tough.
Well,
that was tough. 20 minutes of no punching?
Here's the thing.
The whole show's about punching.
Here's the thing. With Dragon Ball Z, it's about... Every punch is about 8 episodes. Yeah. Like, the amount of times I'd watch an episode where it would be Goku, charging his, spirit bomb or his planet or whatever it was.
I remember the exact episodes you're talking about. Because it was on for like a month straight on YTV every Saturday. And I was like, what
was YTV? Channel 21 or 25?
It was 25
25,
for me. I
that's
wasn't
what
sure
it
about
was.
you, but it was 25 for me back in Niagara. Shout out to Niagara.
Man, I was in Milton. Shout out to Milton. But then I moved to Niagara.
Moved to Niagara because it's better. Really. Anyways, what was this? I forgot what my
Spirit Bomb.
Spirit Bomb.
The Spirit Bomb.
Anyways, so it took them like 2 months to get him to charge the ball up and do something with it. And I tried to go back, rewatch this like 2-3 years ago because my brother's got them all on DVD. Put one in. I made it through for like 10 minutes before I'm just like, wait, Wait, what? Nothing. Yeah. You physically have not touched one another or moved. Or,
by the time you've made it through that many consecutive weeks, to finally see Goku do something, see any character do something.
It is 30 seconds.
You've been through like 14 elementary school girlfriends by that point, like legitimately. Like, it's a great show, don't get me wrong, like, but like you gotta binge. You can't just sit down and be like, I'm gonna watch an episode here. No, you gotta sit down and be dedicated.
To dive into that.
Yeah, like it's so good once you're in there, but it's like it's getting in there, man.
Yeah, that's the hard part. I've heard though that for Dragon Ball Z they have a cut down version that's smarter to watch, but I'm not sure. Someone's told me about this because I've complained about this multiple of times because I did love Dragon Ball Z as a kid. It was great.
Do you guys remember ever watching like Dragon Ball,
the original?
Yeah, no, like the show that
not the original. I guess was it?
I think it was a prequel that came out afterwards.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome," and then like literally does not really tie into any awesome fight scenes. It just has
a couple of like the same characters, but they like change up the continuity weirdly because you're like, wait, but how is he in this when he wasn't born in the other one yet? Like, what? And I always got Goku and Gohan mixed up.
Gohan was the one son, right?
I think so.
Doesn't he have like
I said, I keep getting them mixed up.
Man, we got to go back in because we clearly do not know what we're talking about. To all our guys out there, our girls, our kids, whoever out there who watch Dragon Ball Z Die Hard and they know their anime, we apologize. We're gonna get on this. I swear to you.
I only partially apologize.
Like I'm gonna get on top of this.
Make a better TV show. Like we were just talking about Batman, the animated series. That I can go rewatch. That is a little bit of a kids show, but it's also well crafted enough that you can watch it as an adult. Maybe not a lot. Like I can't watch a whole I can't spend a day watching only those types of shows. But I like Batman Beyond. How I've been watching is I put like a half-hour episode on before bed some days, or if I'm just like cooking something like. Half watching
almost like a background noise.
Exactly, half watching. Because I've seen them all before. I remember popping the first disc in, watching that pilot episode, and it just took me right back to my childhood.
Oh yeah, and you're like, I've seen this next.
Yep, I remember that. I remember when that premiered. That was my favorite thing, like about that and like Teen Titans. That those came out when we were kids. Like they were invented for us as kids. Like Teen Titans were kind of around, but the show they were like, we need something to attract more kids because. We ran out of Batman.
Yeah, man.
We already hit Superman, and then we did the Justice League, and it was like, oh shit, we've run out of all our DC characters.
Oh, for sure,
Okay, we'll bring Robin back.
Yeah.
Some other kids, cool. Kids will love that. And you know what? I fucking did.
Oh yeah, man.
It was the best.
For reals. Like, I remember, this isn't Batman related at all. Back on my Digimon point, I remember when it first came out, I was up at my cottage in the summer. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say 99. But like it might have been 2000. I was young, was my point. Like I was.
Those first. I was still a little kid. Into like it was the 90s.
Like yeah, exactly. Like
I was only in the 90s for 7 years, but it was 90s.
But I was a kid. I was at my cottage, and my mom came up to visit me for like the first time that summer. I was with my grandparents, and she brings me a videotape, and I'm like, videotape. I love my movies. I used to watch The Troll in Central Park like. All the time as a kid at the cottage.
Out of that movie.
So good. Stanley? That was my boy, okay? But anyways, so my mom brings me this VHS. I pop her in like immediately. The second I get to the TV, throw it in, and I start watching. It's like 4 episodes of Power Rangers. And I was like, oh my god, I love me some Power Rangers.
Oh, for sure.
Like this was when they went back and they tried to remaster the original series. They went back and they fixed some stuff, tuned up, so it was even better Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. I'm watching it, and then all of a sudden you get that Digimon, and I'm like, oh my god, what's Digimon? What's Digimon? Is this Pokemon? What's going on? Because I had only ever experienced.
I didn't know what a spin-off was at this point, but I guessed it was.
I had only ever experienced Pokemon. I'm like, what's Digimon? And then it comes in, and you meet the gang, and I'm like, oh my god. And there was the first 3 episodes that she had recorded for me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is hella dope. I'm so psyched. And I binge watched it, and I went back and I watched him again, and I watched him again, and I watched him again, and I just wanted that 4th episode. And I was hooked. I was like 6 years old, 7 years old, and I was hooked on Digimon. And now I got the box set for them. I mean, I'm not down with that. Was it Digimon, like with Shoutmon and whatever, where they like fuse them together?
Oh yeah, they've got, like they had some remake, like a reboot show, right?
Yeah, I'm not down for that universe of Digimon. Like I can barely handle. Was it Digimon Frontier or whatever, where they turn into the Digimon?
Yeah,
like that one was vaguely cool, and I loved the theme song.
I think that was the last one I watched. Actually, was that one?
It's pretty cool, but like give me that original, original Tai, Sora, Mimi, my boy Joe, who was super awkward, kind of reminds me of a skinny version of myself. Izzy, Matt, TK.
How recently did you rewatch this?
Like 2 months ago.
Okay, I was like, damn, I do not remember any of these names.
Like 2 months ago. I'll be honest.
Liking Digimon. That's what I remember.
I watched it once.
I'll be honest. Now that the Digimon Adventure Try movies are coming out, like for real, I got the 2 that came out. The third one's supposed to be coming out soon, I think. If not, it's already out. I've got them. They're so good. They brought me right back. So good.
I remember the Digimon movie. I remember first of all Digimon when it came out on TV. I was the only one out of me and my siblings who liked it.
Yeah, but man, have you met your siblings?
It's true. It's very true. They don't.
They were not. They're not
whatsoever.
cinephiles. No, they're not cinephiles. Shout out to the Carter household, but they were not cinephiles.
Not my siblings. My parents were pretty cinephile. That's where I get it from, right? Like they were always watching.
You gotta get it from somewhere, right?
Yeah, but not my siblings. But I was the only one who really liked Digimon, and I remember dragging, I can't remember if it was my parents or my aunt and uncle to go see the movie when it came out in theaters. And I remember seeing that, and that was one of the first movies I ever saw. And I think it was IMAX, to be honest. For some stupid reason, we went to an IMAX. For some special...
Man.
Look
at this rich kid back then. Jeez.
That's why I'm pretty sure it was with my aunt and uncle. So they were able to pay for it. Parents taking me to IMAX.
Come on, son.
That happened once.
What? And it was when you
Files every single weekend. I've been there once. Anyways, Digimon the movie, great. I remember that was one of the first ones I got. Like, first movies I went to in theaters, and I just remember sitting there and just being blown away by these ginormous ginormous Digimon.
Digimon.
Whatever you want to call them. 'Cause I didn't want to say monsters.
You gotta be specific.
Digital monsters.
Yeah. You gotta use that pronoun properly.
It's true. Don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
Don't want to offend any monsters.
Any monsters.
Sorry, any monsters that are listening.
Either the pocket version, the digital version,
I don't like the
Yu-Gi-Oh version. They use dual monsters.
Yes. So many. We grew up with so many monster shows.
Yeah.
Now that I think
Monster Rancher. Do you guys remember that show?
No.
Like I vaguely remember it. Like I think there was a guy named like Mochi or Moti, this little green dude, or he had like an eye, and then there was a little thing that looked like like the food on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like it was a little like weird looking platypus version of that, and he would have discs and stick it in. And like, I'm pretty sure there was like a big rock dude who like reminded me of was a Stone Soldier or whatever from Yu-Gi-Oh. Like.
Yeah, no, I don't remember any of that.
Man, clearly I watched a lot more TV than you guys as
Which
kids.
I find really hard to believe, because I watched a lot.
Probably why I'm fat now. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Let me watch TV as a kid. Come on, this is your fault, not mine. I'm blaming you guys.
I did live across the street from a park, though, so that probably maybe.
I live down the road from a park, so like I don't have an excuse either.
Yeah.
I have zero excuse.
My parents, like my whole family we always watched a lot of movies though. Just how we did, like my like when we did family like get-togethers, it was always put a movie on. It wasn't like everyone's drinking or whatever, because my family doesn't drink, so it's like put a movie on. We'll watch a movie. We're always watching. There's always movies or something on at any Carter household you go to. There's a big TV and there's too many DVDs. And a Netflix subscription. Every one of them. It's not. It's part of the Carter coat of arms.
Yeah.
There's a little fume.
Some people have boats. Some people have swords.
I couldn't get that word out.
Man, like one other show I definitely watch before we move on to like something other than TV shows that we still obsess
Cartoons
about.
that we obsess about.
Clearly we obsess about. We have serious problems. Beast Wars, man. Like Beast Wars.
I like
even that last season where it went a little over the top, where Optimus has to fuse with Optimus, and like Megatron's got to fuse with Megatron, and they finally introduced some dope, some super intense guys just to blow them up. Mm-hmm. Like Beast Wars was my jam. I think I went through like 3 different Optimus Prime Transformer like action figures.
Oh, I definitely had at least one or two of the ones from the Beast Wars.
Oh yeah,
like my dad was always into Transformers, but Beast Wars was our Transformers.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Transformers were around when he was a kid because I got a younger dad.
Yeah, I do not.
So Transformers were around when he was a kid. Like the Transformers movie came out when, like the cartoon movie came out when my dad was. Like,
man, my boy Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, exactly,
Rodimus
right?
Prime.
So my dad always loved Transformers, but like, and so like, I liked them too. But once Beast Wars came out, that was my Transformers. It was like, yeah, these are for us. Like I love anything that's like,
Dad, you can borrow, but these are mine.
These are mine. They're all mine. They're made for us almost millennials.
Yeah.
My dad's a millennial, kind of. I guess he is. I guess
Well,
he falls under that.
I think
What year is he born?
73. Is that a millennial?
I don't know.
I don't know what millennials are anymore.
your dad is like 20 years older than us. That's all that
That's all.
matters.
That's the only thing that. Yeah, that's true. That's
True.
the point.
Math. We do math on this show.
Do we?
We did
We
math.
might have to reconsider.
Okay. We did math one time on this show. Okay.
First episode, it's early.
Exactly.
It's early starting.
It's early.
Next episode, we'll do math
anything.
2 times.
Let's not promise anything yet.
We might do it 2 times next week, but you got to tune in to hear us do
I'm
that.
gonna have to study up for that.
Yeah, this is a test.
Are you gonna tell me if it's at least gonna be like
Can I use a
addition or
calculator?
You
multiplication?
can bring a calculator.
We could,
Can I use
Remember-
one on
remember
my
in school
phone,
when
or is this like we're at to
No.
bring a separate
Yeah.
one?
No, separate calculator.
Calculator watch. That's it.
If you bring
Do they have those anymore?
I don't know, man. I think they
Pretty
still
sure
make
I've seen
pocket
it at Walmart.
protectors.
Yo, yeah? Okay. Because my grandpa had one of those ones that you would just, like, had a little keyboard on it, and he had that for the longest time when I was growing up.
Man.
I remember that thing.
And then we're like,
Where's
so
my phone?
I'm going to throw this at you, Scott. I feel like I've done a lot of talking right now. Hit me with those movies. Like, you sit down and just watch whenever, regardless. What did you love movie-wise? Hit me.
90s Batmans.
90s Batmans.
Everyone hates on them.
Everyone hates on the nipples, man.
You know what? When I was a kid,
I didn't even look at the nipples.
I didn't, like...
I didn't know what nipples
like,
were.
Looking back on that scene now, yeah, it's a weird scene when they're getting dressed and you're just like, you stare at their nipples. For 5 seconds, you just stare at Batman's nipples. But you know what? It was 5 seconds of 4 movies that I just don't care.
I don't know.
I never cared as a kid. I loved it.
I thought they
loved
made
them
up
all.
for it when they get Alicia Silverstone when she's getting dressed, and
yeah.
it's like her like literally hiking up
Booty.
her exactly.
Booty.
She hikes up
that
her
was the
pants.
first booty I ever saw in my life, and it was the best booty.
She zips up her boot
And
too,
why to
doesn't
this
she?
day,
Like
I
she,
still love leather jeans.
yeah. And then she drops her cape, and then she goes and kicks some ass.
Exactly.
And you know, there's nothing wrong with
her.
that. Show some ass and then kick it. That's what needs to happen.
Those
That's
movies are just great, and like everyone hates on them because they're a little campy and whatnot. But it's like
what's wrong with campy?
They're cartoon. They're not cartoon. My bad. They're comic book movies. Like they're
Oh,
supposed to be a little bit campy, a little bit ridiculous. Like everyone hates on Batman whipping out the Batman MasterCard.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that scene when I was a kid. I was like, yeah,
It's Batman.
Why wouldn't Batman have it? If I was a credit card company. And
Batman called me and was like, "Hey, listen, I want a
Batman.
MasterCard."
Like, yo, Batman, you want a MasterCard? You won't have to pay anything. You can put anything on it. We will cover it. Just show up in 2 commercials for us.
That's
Just
approve sponsorship
of the Batman MasterCard.
Exactly.
And we're gonna put a little thing at the end of the commercial saying, if you want your Batman gift card, Batman MasterCard, contact us at this number.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent right now. I hear people like forever, my entire life, hating on everything Batman movies, like
Oh, I know.
friggin' the Adam West things. Which, granted, I'm gonna give it to them. Like that stuff.
I'm gonna be honest. I never quite
Like
got into that
my
one.
mother, God bless her, she spends a lot of time trying to defend that show, saying that kids back then knew what was going on. They knew that they were ridiculous. And I've talked to people who legitimately thought that show was a good show.
Really?
Legitimately,
I've never met a person
swear.
like that. Never met a person like that.
I've talked to a few guys who legitimately like that show, and I was like, wow, you grew up on some stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, you look at the Keaton Batmans, you look at all the other 90s Batmans,
Oh, yeah.
even you look at the Christopher Nolan ones, and then you look at
People
Ben
always have
Affleck now.
comments. Oh yeah, everyone's always going to be hating
The
on
problem is with Batman, to make it a live action movie, is you have to almost entirely take out that little bit that he's most well known for, which is he's the world's greatest detective.
Oh, I know.
No one
That's
wants
what
to
all
see
these movies
him
have been
walk
missing,
into a
yeah.
shadow, poke his head around, and be like, "Yo, sup? You got info? I'm going to take it, and then take it, and then
Yeah.
go get more information." Like
Or him spending a half hour at a crime scene picking out what he needs. Because that's what real detectives do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Batman literally, he's the world's greatest detective because he does all the processing, figures it out, goes and kicks a little bit of butt, and saves the day. No one's going to pay, what is it, like $12 now to go to the
comic books, it's easier to, like, for them to show that, like, you know, it's one panel or one or two panels. He's collected everything, right?
Even in cartoons, like he can go do it.
Live action. It's like you gotta watch fucking Ben Affleck scooping up dust off the floor trying to figure out who Superman is.
No one's gonna pay for that. They want to see. They want to see dark. They want to see dark, brooding Batman show up. They want to see him kick some ass. They want to see him be like, I have no superpowers, but I am Batman.
See a Batmobile and Batarangs.
Yeah.
Bat gadgets.
Show me a little bit of Alicia Silverstone's ass.
You put Bat at the beginning of anything, I want to know what it's going to be.
Exactly.
Bat Cycle. Bat House.
Like, I heard that.
Bat whatever.
When they announced that Justice League's going to have the Bat Submarine, I was like, Bat Submarine?
Bat Submarine.
I got to have it.
Give it on to me.
They make an action figure, I'm going to buy a Bat Submarine. Like,
100%.
That's my retirement plan, is own a 100%. Bat submarine. That's the retirement plan.
I like it. Travel the world in my Bat submarine.
But that's it. Like, people say they gotta have Batman just go kick some ass. It can't just be Batman doing what Batman does best. And I think that's why it doesn't translate well to film, is because they have to cut out too much of the fact that he is the world's greatest detective.
No, I definitely agree. They definitely haven't been on the it's also the story too. Like, I agree, it's because Hollywood's trying to sell the story, right? And it's like, okay, well, we got this superhero.
Yeah, Batman's name exists. Everyone knows Batman. Exactly. You put Batman anywhere, people are going to go see it.
Exactly. And so
but they need to try to go above and beyond, you know.
Oh, they're always trying to make the best Batman movie. And it's like, well, why don't you just try to make a Batman movie?
Yeah.
Like,
give me a Batman movie where it's Bruce Wayne by day, Batman by night, and he's trying to balance the both. Him using Batman, like, Batman is the character, Bruce Wayne is the mask, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's my take on it.
My one thing is they never, like, I feel like they never get enough Bruce Wayne into the Batmans either, because it's like, you need to see it. Like, I get their Batman movies, but you need a little Bruce Wayne so that you get why Batman's Batman still, right? Like, because you want to see him put the mask on of, Bruce Wayne pretending to be this play.
That's one of the reasons I love.
Great job of the combination. I felt
that's one of the reasons I love Ben Affleck as Batman.
True,
because comparatively, how much time does he spend as Ben Affleck? You know, as Bruce Wayne,
exactly. I
versus
agree.
him
that
in the Bat suit.
Balances. I agree.
He like even Alfred. You know, he makes the comment about it. You know, Batman couldn't do this, but Bruce Wayne can.
Exactly.
Like, he's about to go undercover as himself.
There are some things that you need to have a billionaire to get around with. You know, he can't just
bust out the Bat Mastercard all the time. Eventually, you're going to get hit with it.
It's true. You're going to get hit with the interest payments.
Exactly. And
Bat interest payments.
Bad interest payments, and those are bad interest payments.
Pun number 2.
Boom, nailed it.
Are we keeping track of this? Tallying?
Nice. It. Now, I gotta ask though, dude, what did you watch this week?
What did I watch this week? Okay, so there was the main thing I had to watch, because I never fall behind on these, is all the CW TV shows. I know I leaned in there, Craig, but that's
gotta love it.
No,
it
was emphasis part of it.
I love me some Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I have learned more from history based off of Legends of Tomorrow.
It's got me more interested in history
than I did in Miss Tracy's history class in 12B.
I did pretty good in that.
Like
history class, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you said 12B. I didn't do it in 12B. I just did grade 12.
Maybe it was grade 12. No, it totally was grade 12. I did nothing in 12B.
Okay, I was gonna say,
totally
I was like,
grade 12.
why would you retake it when we went back? Like,
I don't know, man. I made poor decisions. I have made poor decisions.
I remember I did well in that just because my high school girlfriend got a worse mark than me, who was going into history, and she was not impressed. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm better at exams.
Ooh.
It's just history. Awkward.
But like I totally learned more about that from that. The Flash, I like the way they integrate, you know, the old what was it, John Wesley Shipp or whatever.
Oh yeah,
the old Flash show.
That's my favorite.
I like that they integrated those characters as side characters,
side Earth, or like
exactly. You know, Jay Garrick. You know, from was it Earth 3? I think he's from.
I can't remember. I can't keep track of those.
Yeah,
there's too many Earths.
I like that they do that. I like that they try to take other characters and bring them in and introduce some lesser names. Like
my favorite is that they have the multiverse in the Flash.
Oh, exactly. That they introduced it.
Like, why doesn't more DC things have the multiverse? Like, I get Flash is the one that it works the best with. Like,
because you can run fast.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can go through it, but like, like they could play with it a little bit with like Legends if they wanted, but Legends already have their thing with time travel. But it's just like I feel like they don't like. I really love that they dive into the multiverse because it's I can see like it explains why Supergirl's on the same planet as him, or why we're not seeing maybe Gotham right now. Like that was one thing I was thinking about because I was watching Gotham earlier today, and I was like, this is the only one that doesn't connect, even though it is DC. And I know that's because it's like filmed by Fox instead, and the other ones are all CW. But I'm just like, but you could easily explain it. Be like, oh, yep, Barry has to run to Earth 8, and it's like, oh,
it shows up.
That's Batman.
Sketchy.
I was like, I was hoping, like, I know you don't like Gotham.
Yeah, it is not for me. Not for me.
I can see that. I can 100% see that. Like, I only like it because I can pick out the good things and just ignore the rest.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty good at that with it. But I was watching it, and I'm hoping this season they've just finally they're hinting at him becoming Batman soon. He's already starting to beat up people.
I think I've seen on Facebook a couple of times where he's got that weird ninja suit.
It's called he's like A Dark Knight. Like it's Gotham A Dark Knight. Like is the season's like name or subtitle. Like last season was like.
Is it like night or is it like nighttime, like dark outside night?
No, like night, yeah. Oh. So like the Dark Knight, but it's like A Dark Knight or something like that. Yeah,
kind of lame, man. Kind of lame.
A little bit, I agree, but they're kind of setting it up that like I could easily see in like 2 or 3 years them launching a Batman show, and then
hopefully do it because then
Flash
they got
running
me
into a new world, like running into a new like another multiverse, and be like, oh. What's going on here? And it's Batman.
And then Batman being like,
it's
I don't
the
need
Batverse.
you.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
I am darkness, I am the night.
Yeah, just knocks him out, throws him away, some shit like that.
No, and then no more Barry Allen, and that's when my boy Wally West has to step in and become the new Flash.
Well, I like that they had him stepping up at the beginning of this season, like the premiere that we saw this week.
He's really grown. I like the character. I'm not a huge fan of the way they make him a little whiny.
Yeah,
I think they play to him being a little too young.
They play on the kid part of the kid Flash way too hard.
But he's like, he's just a dude. But he wants to do good, and I like that. But I will say, my favorite part of the CW, and it's because the original is Green Batman. I love me some Green Batman.
Green Arrow.
Green Batman.
Oh, wait, Arrow. It's Arrow.
Green Arrow. It's just Arrow.
How are we supposed to keep track of the name
Green
of this when
Batman
the main character changes his name every other season?
Like, I love...
Start off as just the... What did he start off as? It wasn't even Arrow. Like his name in the show, like what everyone called him in the show. I
thought it was the Arrow, wasn't it?
The Archer. Was the second one.
It was the Archer.
Okay, it started off.
I'm pretty sure it was the Archer. Yeah.
One name that he had for like 2 episodes, and then they were like, "No, he's just Arrow."
Yeah. and then just like any show, it's got its plot holes if you sit there and binge watch. But whatever.
Which I have recently done.
You got it. Like every time a new season comes out, I pre-order it and then I crush every season, and then I watch the new season.
I'm not the only person who does that.
I got it. Like. When
only reason I subscribed to Crave TV was so it was easier for me to rewatch and binge watch all the DC shows.
When I find out that there's a new season of Family Guy coming on Netflix, I'll watch all 14 seasons that are already there. It happens.
2 days.
Exactly. Craig knows what's up.
Fast forward. You got to put it on the double time. Fast forward, but
you don't need to hear what they're saying.
Exactly. You just got to see it.
Go past.
I've watched it so many times by now that I can Craig and I have literally had entire conversations at dinner using nothing but, hey, remember in Family Guy when? That's like this, and connecting it. And that's me in real life. People are probably sick of me just talking about movies and TV all the time. But you know what I say to them? I say, this is why I forgot to grow up, okay? That's why I got a podcast going on right now where I can talk about this and have an outlet so that you guys don't have to directly listen to me talking about it, even though you're still going to hear me talking about it.
This podcast is only like an hour or 2 a week.
Oh, for sure,
maybe. There's a lot of hours in the week where I got to talk about my superhero show.
Exactly. We can't just talk to each other. We got to share it with you guys.
I can share it with everybody.
I watched a movie this week.
What movie?
Man, it's called... I can't remember what it's called right now. Damn. Man, Cliffhanger. That's what it was. That was the cliffhanger. I couldn't remember what it was. Man, Sylvester Stallone.
I actually watched Cliffhanger. I thought you were... That was just like a pun that you guys were dropping on me. It was like, we were...
That was my setup right there. Craig knew what... I was really hoping Craig would pick up on it. Cliffhanger. Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
And fun fact, guys, Michael Rooker does not wear sunglasses in this movie.
No, wait, no. I call bullshit.
He does.
That can't be true.
I've never seen him.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Michael Rooker. I've never seen him without sunglasses, except for that one time.
I have seen him with hair, and I have seen him not blue, and I have seen him without sunglasses.
No.
I know that he at one point looked like a normal guy.
I don't accept any of these as real true facts.
And I gotta tell you guys, 90s and even 80s, but 90s action movies make no sense.
None. They're not supposed
None whatsoever.
No logic. There's no, like, the 80s and 90s was a time before logic and common sense applied to movies.
Here's
and
like...
I miss it some days.
It was a pretty good movie.
I just want a stupid, wacky 80s or 90s style action thing where it's, your mom did shoot. Stop or your mom will shoot, or some stupid thing like that. Or Kindergarten Cop. Like, when was the last time?
This is not a tumor.
Like, the closest thing we get nowadays is The Rock doing something. And I'm like, no, I want Kindergarten Cop. I want this ginormous man pretending to be a kindergarten teacher.
Here's the thing, though. Was Schwarzenegger ever in a bad movie? The answer is no. He was not. He was always surrounded with a stellar cast, and the story was just good enough that you're looking at it and you're like, yo, this is a good-ass movie.
100%.
Like, even the bad movies, like, fantastic.
Schwarzenegger was probably one of my first, like, favorite movie stars.
Yeah,
like, Twins, with him and Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, man.
To this day, is still one of my favorite comedies. Watching those two bicker back and forth, the fact that they're supposed to be brothers, and that Arnold got all the good genes and Danny got none of the good genes, got all the bad genes.
I like to pretend that it was like a prequel to, Danny becoming the Penguin.
Oh, yeah.
And then Schwarzenegger becoming Mr. Freeze, or Dr. Freeze.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's what I want to believe happened. Danny was like, screw you, I'm going to become the Penguin. And then Schwarzenegger was like, duh, but I like cold stuff.
I can do it.
I can do the cold stuff, dinosaur jokes.
Oh, wait, is that not the right movie?
I'll be back.
What's my line, guys? Oh, I have to do an ice pun? Yeah. Okay.
This is what killed the dinosaurs, the Ice Age. But, like...
That was my favorite joke, though. I love that. Like, he's just in
his entire character was just talking about it. But I'm totally off topic again. Back to Cliffhanger.
Right.
Like, that was one of those movies that I was into it, and then there's a point in the movie where...
You lose it. It loses you,
where
right?
he's like... The bad guys decide, like, hey, listen, you got to climb up this mountain, up this peak right there, and you got to get the box with all the money up there. And he's like, okay, well, I need my nail gun so I can climb the mountain. Yeah. And they're like, no, give us your jacket. And he's like, okay. And he gives them the jacket. And then they're like, oh, give us a sweater as extra insurance, haha. And he gives them the sweater. And here he is, like, in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, in the middle of the winter. It's got to be, at least sub-freezing. And the bad guys
just take his clothes.
And he just climbs up, he gets the box, he does his action hero stuff, throws the money overboard so no one gets it. An avalanche happens, of course. That's one thing
that never happens anymore either. Yeah. People are like, no, I'm not giving up this money. Yeah. So I'm not going to throw it over the edge. Yeah. It's like,
and that's what he does. He throws it, some guy shoots at him, causes an avalanche. Yeah. He gets doused in snow, somehow manages to walk his way for like 45 minutes out into the woods where a woman just happens to find him. He puts on a sweater, like not even an Irish sweater, like a sweater,
regular old,
and he's fine. Sweater. Immediately after getting on, rubs his arm, say, "I'm good to go. I'm good to go." Okay, this is great. This is great.
Clearly, his character is the same guy who as Rocky from when he went to Russia. Yeah. Because that guy only ever wore sweats
he's just like, this is great, Adrian. This is great, Adrian. And then he kills a dude in a fight scene. Like he fights a guy in the middle of a cavern. Yeah. He gets his just beaten. He gets pistol whipped at least once. He gets punched in the face a bunch of times, spits the blood out, makes a couple of snarky remarks, and the guy's about to kill him, and then he grabs him by the grundle, picks him up, and impales him on a spike out of the roof. Like a stalagmite or a stalactite, whichever one it is.
Whatever one comes down.
For all you rock people out there.
Check that out.
Find out for
Find out for us.
Okay.
For all of those rock people out there, I apologize for not knowing science.
Was that part of something we were supposed to learn?
I don't know. So. I think it was more grade 12 geography than anything, but I didn't pay attention.
Geography
I took it in 12B and I went once. But anyways, he
I
kills.
do remember that.
He kills the dude on it, and that's it. Like it's.
The stalactite.
It was stalactite.
Come
There
from
we
the
go.
roof?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Stalagmites coming.
There you go, people.
Correct.
Fun fact for you.
We just learned something, and you just learned something too.
There's supposed to
wasn't
be an
even
easy
movie
way to
review.
remember
Yeah.
it, but I don't remember.
I don't know. The only thing tight about it was the fact that it impaled this dude, and he stayed up there for a bit. Like that was the only thing tight about it.
It's like, oh wait, gravity doesn't apply then?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And this whole movie
Goes
was
up,
nuts.
doesn't come back down. Wait, what?
Yeah. Like,
Is it a jaggedy
and
rock?
I kept picturing like Barney's dad doing it because he's the bad guy in this movie. Is Barney from
yeah.
How I Met Your Mother? His pops, and I'm like, is this why Barney didn't have a child like a dad as a kid because he was out here trying to steal money?
It would
like-
make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
It would explain How I Met Your Mother's continuity.
Yeah, it was just one of those movies where it was good, but it was terrible, and it was so freaking 90s.
Well, see, you know why the bad guys had to take his sweater, right? So Sylvester Stallone shirtless.
Well, he was wearing he wasn't
the same
shirtless.
reason why-
He was wearing a tight T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't he have a tank top on in that one? No. Am I thinking a different?
I think
Sylvester Stallone one?
you're probably thinking of every other Sylvester Stallone movie.
My bad. I'm used to him in a tight black.
No, this one was like a gray blue.
Oh, okay.
Like my car, it was like
I might
that
be
kind
thinking
of
over
color.
the top. Might be thinking
Yeah,
over the top.
maybe.
That's a great. See, that's the type of what I was talking about before. Just stupid, random action premise. Like, yeah, we're gonna follow this dude who gets an arm wrestling competition.
Yep.
That's what this movie's gonna
Yep.
be about for 2 hours.
And then they had the audacity to call it Over the Top.
Yeah,
Well, because he was a truck driver too, and he had this thing. There was a whole reason. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, but it sounds over the top.
It was
Yeah.
so over the top. He had a kid who he'd
man.
never known. He just met. He was teaching the kid about this stuff. He would just drive trucks, and he had this like setup in his truck where he would be like doing
Man,
this like workout with one arm.
if you take this entire
like, the
movie
same as
and
a-
you switch Sylvester Stallone with Hugh Jackman, you get Real Steel. That's what this is.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Real Steel was a remake.
Yeah, man, real
Yeah,
Steel.
with fighting robots. I don't think I ever watched that. To be
Really?
honest, yeah.
We went to see it in
you
theaters.
recommend it?
I like it. I like it. The only real thing I remember about going to see it is that it was with. All I remember is that our friend Joyce from high school was there.
Of course.
And her and I talked about Hugh Jackman. Like that was like our connecting thing because the fact that his name is Hugh Jackman and as he gets older he gets more and more jacked man. Like that's messed. That's messed. That was another pun, by the way.
Is that his stage name or is it his actual name?
I don't know. It should be Hugh. Holy shit,
Do you
he's
want to
sexy.
fact check that one too?
Holy shit, he's sexy.
Why
Because that
not?
dude.
Why
Might
not?
as well.
We
We have-
I like
we have
fact
the
checks.
ability.
I'm a big fact check.
He's a
fact checker.
he is a good looking dude, except for when he has a ball throat in what was the movie? Movie 42 or something like that.
Oh, I never watched that. That was
Is that
that
what it
one
was?
with a bunch of
No, it
those-
wasn't
Movie
42.
42's the skits. I
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah, I
talking
heard
about.
it was
Movie
okay,
42,
but,
yeah.
like,
Because he's got
it's-
the ball chin and he's out on a date with Kate Blanchett or whoever. it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Yes, and doesn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, at all, and and no one sees it except for her, and he gets like flicked in it, and it's cold, and they shrivel up. Movie's so bad, but it is so
I haven't
good.
seen it. I've been
It
meaning
is.
to.
It is one of
movie
the
42, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of the better things I've watched on Netflix.
There's like 3 different versions out there of it. Like like 3 different like the premise of the story. Like the one on Netflix,
I
it's
like
it's
that.
Dennis Quaid,
Yeah.
and he's like this crackhead who's trying to pitch his idea to Hollywood. Common's in it. He's at the end. He's a total thug, like him.
When is he
It's got Seth MacFarlane briefly in a scene.
Okay, cool.
But then there's another one where it's like 3 kids just hanging out, trying to 2 of them are trying to mess with the younger brother, and then it turns into like the apocalypse at the end. Like one dude sitting there watching porn in the bathroom, beating off to this like cam girl, and it ends up being his mom, and then he goes and
Oh,
throws
God.
up, and
What?
like that's the premise of that movie with all these little crazy skits thrown in. But I definitely recommend it to you guys out there watching and listening to this.
42.
Go watch movie 42. Don't let your kids watch it though. Do not.
That doesn't sound
Do
like
not.
something kids should be watching.
No, it's,
But it's so stupid, but it is so good. There's one of the skits in it. It's got Sean William Scott and what's his name from Jackass. He was in The Ringer. Oh man.
Don't look at me.
Oh, I know his name. Johnny Knoxville. And it's Johnny Knoxville, Sean William Scott. They're best buddies, and one of them's like, dude, I fucked your girlfriend. The other one's like, what? He's like, I got something for you, though. And, like, it's a pot of gold with a leprechaun. And then the leprechaun...
And that was the most messed up skit.
Oh, yeah, and they kill each other.
That was the most messed up.
And they kill each other, but I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it's a...
Wait, but you just said they killed each other. That's not how it ends?
No.
Wait, there's more to the movie after they've killed themselves.
No.
Okay, I have to watch this movie.
Okay, no, I lied. They don't...
Don't tell me anymore. I want to find out what happens after they've killed themselves.
Do it. For reals.
So just really
I lied. They don't kill themselves.
What?
The leprechauns come. The leprechauns come.
Oh, did leprechauns kill them?
I don't
want to know.
Just watch
we gotta
it.
find
Just
out.
watch it.
That's true.
It's funny.
I highly recommend you guys check it out there too.
By the way, update, Hugh Jackman's name is Hugh Jackman.
That's his legal name. Okay, I
That's
wasn't sure if it was a stage name.
According to Wikipedia and IMDb, that's his...
Some people are just blessed with perfect names.
Oh, I know. I'm
like
Carter. Carter.
John Carter? No, he's not John Carter.
No.
Like Hugh Jackman, that's a perfect name. One of my dear friends, he's an insurance broker here in town. His name, Warren Savage. Is that not the best name on the face of the earth?
Great name.
He should be an actor. Just based off of his name.
Savage in their name is just great.
That's true.
Doc
That's true.
Savage.
That's true.
I was looking actually. I remember I was telling you we should eventually for this podcast. This is like a little like hint for you listeners. We were gonna maybe do like comics that or TV shows with comics based on them.
Yeah.
Check out those random storylines. The number of ones I found, they're just random things with Savage, Doc Savage, Savage Man, Savage this, Savage that. It is ridiculous.
Man, from now on,
crazy.
From now on, my name is Savage. I'm changing my first name to Savage. My Twitter handle is no longer Sexy Exy. It is Sexy Savage.
Oh, Sexy
Savage.
Sexy Savage.
Especially
now if you throw the 3 in there like you do.
Yeah.
That might not be taken. You might.
I'm going to check it out right now.
Fact checking now.
I got you.
Is that our third fact check of the show? That's another thing we should keep a tally of.
I have a lot of tallies running at this point.
That's good to know. Like how many times Scott's trying not to cough.
No, what I should be
that's
doing
what I'm working on
is
the last 5 minutes now.
What I should be doing is the number of times Scott does things that are so stereotypical for television.
It's so
your
true.
presence is amazing.
Well, at least we have one good thing about the show. 2 things. We teach you about stalactites.
We get really off topic.
We get really off topic.
Sexy_Savage with a 3 is untaken on Twitter.
Guys,
so
follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. It's at S3XY_Savage. Okay? Follow me on Twitter. Okay?
As of this point,
so you just started up a new one now. We
didn't
even decide
you
on
can change
that
the usernames.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the username.
You can change your username now.
Follow me on Twitter for all you guys out there. It's S3XY_Savage. That's your boy Andrew from the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. That's me. Follow me.
Are we doing our...
I don't know. I am.
Are we doing plugs now?
I am. I'm shamelessly plugging myself.
Are we winding down? Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. We
I mean,
can tell them.
these people have lives.
Tell them. They know.
It's
a good little reminder. I hate when I'm listening to a podcast I have no idea and it just ends. Bye, guys. What? Wait, what?
Like it's almost 8 o'clock.
Like a little less thing.
It's almost 8 o'clock. These people right now, they're probably trying to watch NFL right now. They're trying to watch Sunday Night Football. So we should probably start to wind down for these guys.
Do I need to remind?
Yeah, I got you.
I was going to say. Okay.
Yeah. It's because it'll be coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Even though
I mean, our theme song does say "listen to us while you're busy," so they don't really.
Oh, that's fair.
They're doing other stuff.
That's fair. They're doing other stuff.
We hope they're doing.
We hope there's.
Or
some stuff.
Do well.
To do what you guys do.
Just
do what you do when you do your podcast.
We're not demanding.
Yeah.
We're here.
So true.
We are here for you guys.
Whatever you guys want to do, we're fine with.
Just remember that we are here with you.
Yes.
Okay. We're that little voice in your ear that says, "Don't steal the Kinder Surprise. Don't do it." That's us.
Watch more Netflix.
Watch more Netflix. Okay? Don't get into trouble.
Yes, you do want to watch another episode. Or no, yes, you do want to continue watching.
Is that even an option? Like, why is that even an option?
I've disabled that option on mine.
Yeah,
it's officially gone.
Good.
It just does it automatically?
No,
does it check to see if you're live?
Yeah. It does that once a month when it checks my bank account.
Yeah,
I can pay it. It's like, oh yeah, this guy's still alive. Good enough.
I think my Netflix account's just like, who cares if this guy dies? He's always watching this. He watches 19
He's
things.
watched too much already. ready. Like, well, if this guy stops, it's fine. He's got enough for 4 more years.
Oh, exactly. If he never pays us again, his wall of movies is enough to keep him going for at least 4 days. At least 4 days.
Plus the VHS. So the VHS got me an extra half a day.
Yeah.
That's all the time rewind.
Daredevil versus Spider-Man?
Yeah, man. That's the original Spider... Or not the original Spider... That's our 90s. That's
90s.
my original Spider-Man cartoon.
True. We have our
my boy Peter
original
Parker in college, where he's super awkward and, like, he's trying to balance being in college and, like, trying to be Spider-Man and trying to get nailed. Like, that's my Peter Parker. That's my boy.
It's true. I remember that cartoon. That was a good cartoon. I always watched that on, what was it, Cartoon Network?
I'm not sure.
Or what was not Looney Tunes? What was that tune
Teletoon.
channel?
Teletoon. I never watched it on TV, truth be told. My mom just bought me a bunch of VHSs, and I would watch them.
That's pretty awesome.
That's true. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to toss out a thank you to all you guys out there listening, checking out our first episode of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. I promise you there's going to be more. Hopefully you liked what you hear. Hopefully you like what you guys heard today.
If you enjoyed yourselves.
If you
learned something new.
If you did or you didn't, make sure you hit us up. Leave a comment in the comment section. Facebook us, the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. Check us out on Twitter at Forgot to Grow Up. Same with Instagram, Forgot to Grow Up. Send us a message. Email us. Do what you gotta do. Get back to us.
Say hey.
If there's a new movie coming out that you guys want to hear about, hit us up. We will go see it. We'll get back to you.
Oh yeah, I want to go see Kingsman soon.
Kingsman, man.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen Kingsman. Next.
But nonetheless, we were supposed to talk about stuff that we were gonna watch, and then
we're gonna go check out Kingsman. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. And for those of you who thought and were kind of lured in thinking Denzel Washington was going to be here this week, I do apologize. He was busy, but I will.
There was a conflict in scheduling. He said he was completely unavailable for the rest of his life. We misunderstood that. We thought
it was sarcasm.
We thought he was joking with us, just, oh, you guys, I'm never gonna be available. No, he was legit. He even did a restraining order.
Yeah. He hit us up. We're never gonna have him.
The man on fire will not be showing up anytime soon.
He is the man on fire, and the one thing that won't be on fire is that restraining order. So I went ahead.
I don't think you can burn those things. I think we'll go to jail for that.
Yeah, and but now we may have my boy John Hamm next week.
John Hamm.
He may come in and he might try to talk about how he is the coolest dude on the face of the earth. Okay.
I have one question for you. Do you think most of our fans are actually going to know who John Hamm is?
I hope so. If you don't know who John Hamm is...
I don't know if I want them to be listening. Yes, we do. But
yes, we do.
If you don't, you should still Google it so you know, because then you'll be like, oh, he's that guy.
I'm going to go so far out to say that if you don't know who John Hamm is, that makes us some pretty mad men.
Does that count? Does that count as one?
That's going on the pun list.
Yeah. Pun list? Okay.
And if you don't watch Mad Men, I recommend it.
100%.
It is.
I doubled that recommendation.
Like, even if you can't get into it, I know when I watched it, I watched like 2 seasons. I stopped. I went back like 6 months later, watched some more. I highly recommend it. It nails that era.
Once in a while. Yeah.
That is
that era and the industry too. Like, speaking of somebody who works in marketing, little drop for that. So that was actually just a real call there. But yeah, it does really capture a really good essence of the industry while still kind of glamorizing it a little bit. It's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty accurate. Especially
I just thought it nailed the time period.
Yeah. Oh, I love that too. I like how they connected to all the brands that were around that.
So that's 2 things that Sexy Savage on Twitter recommends. I'm going to become Sexy Savage.
I like it. Now that Craig's told me I can change my username, I have to move my one Twitter name to my other account. So
what I recommend for sure is check out Mad Men and check out Movie 42. Are we sure it's Movie 42? That doesn't seem to be rolling off my tongue.
I know it is. I've heard of it. I've been meaning to watch it. I just never got to.
Watch that. That's my thing. Okay, those are mine.
Recommendations? Should I do a recommendation?
Hey, do your recommendations.
Craig, do you got any recommendations? For movies or TVs?
Well, I mean, we haven't talked about Big Mouth at all.
watch Big Mouth, but if you have
You
kids,
haven't seen it?
What's Big Mouth?
Holy crap, Scott.
Oh my god!
Do I know
next
Big Mouth?
next week?
We need, yeah,
We're gonna
Next
discuss
week-
podcast. Apparently, we're talking all next week about Big Mouth.
Next week on
Scott's going to be learning a little bit about Big Mouth because he doesn't know anything about it.
Craig and Andrew are not going to be Big Mouths, and we're not going to tell them what is on Big Mouth. But next week, for sure, us, possibly John Hamm, being here talking about
Potentially,
Big
knock on
Mouth.
wood.
We love you guys.
Think it picked up
I'm
that
saying
much?
that. We love you.
Yeah.
Hockey stick, coffee stain, water cooler cup, sideways comb. That's a Big Mouth reference that you guys are going to have to go watch so that you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to learn about that. Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the only other thing I watched is Mindhunter, but that's.
How was that?
I'm only 5 episodes
heard-
in. It's. I think it's really well done.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
the acting's really.
I heard
good.
middling things about it.
It's keeping my attention, which is different from
That's
drama.
all I ever ask.
Yeah.
That's all I ever ask
Yeah,
of
'cause
any
I'm-
TV show is if it keeps me just intrigued enough, then I'm like, yeah, I'll watch another episode, then it's good.
Yeah. There's like a couple story arcs that go through it. It's pretty good.
Cool.
I enjoyed
What
it.
about yourself?
Yeah.
My recommendation are, I don't know. I say check out these DC shows that have come back on this week.
Check it
Catch
out.
up on them. They were all really great. I love them all. Exy wasn't as big a fan of all of them, but that's because I'm simpler to please than he is. It's just a true fact.
I'm a connoisseur.
He is.
No,
He's
I
a
see
connoisseur.
television and movies as a fine wine.
Yeah,
but
whereas to me,
I don't
it's just
drink
give it
wine.
to
You
me.
know? She drinks more whiskey than
For
I
me,
wine.
it's more like a
wine.
beer for me. Just drink it until you just can't drink anymore.
Exactly.
Binge. But yeah, check out the DC CW shows and
Make sure you check us out next week.
next week.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. Man, I'm bad with dates. What's tomorrow? The 15th. So what will be that? The
We
22nd.
won't put specific dates. We're just gonna keep it very
Ooh,
vague,
very
just in
vague.
case we have
Very
to put
vague.
it off by some
Yeah, come-
some emergency.
Check us out next
week.
Sunday.
Or whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
Or whenever
Check
you
out
guys
our next
see it come
episode.
out, or
okay?
whenever you guys are free to look.
Exactly.
Listeners, don't do stuff just because we tell you to, unless it's liking, subscribing, and following,
Ooh.
because that you should do.
Leave it.
All of us.
Leave your comments. Let us know what you thought about our first episode. This is Andrew at the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. We love you. We'll see you. Keep us in your dreams.